I do not know where the motivation is coming from, but I am going to take it. And I have a TBR. Hello, book lovers. I'm Kiki, and welcome back to my little corner on the internet. I am feeling the intense motivation to tackle my 25 and 2025, and I have made a little bit of a dent already. I have DNF'd a whole series that was on there because I just wasn't vibing with it. I have been making great progress on my Rick Riordan books. I have been making no progress, actually, in the School for Good and Evil. And if I do manage to read these books next week, as I am intending to, I will be so much closer to finishing the English books that are on this TBR. Like, yes, there's Throne of Glass and Ekta on there, but A, they're getting separate videos, and B, they're so daunting. Oh, why are they so big? Like, the last few Throne of Glass, why? The last Ekta? Why? You know? So, but otherwise, it's Rick Riordan left, mostly, and then a couple of other series, and then I'm done with my English series. And then it's just the Germans, like, the German ones left, and I'm just... yeah, and then I'm gonna have to tackle the remaining series that I have. But anyway, let me show you what I am hoping to read over the next 6-ish days. I should have a bit more time next week if everything works out. So, I want to read Ascendance of a Bookworm, Part 2, Volume 2. I really need to get cracking on this series, and this is going to probably be the one that takes me the longest to read, which seems weird because it's such a small book, but there are reasons. I just finished Powerless? Powerless? Yes. So I just finished that, and now it is time to read Powerful, because I do want to have Powerless fresh in my mind when I read this, because as far as I am aware, these will be sort of taking place within the same time period, especially because this is mostly about Adina, and oh, it literally says Powerless on the back. I'm so stupid. So yeah, this probably shouldn't take me that long, and I'm excited to read this. I have got the next book in the School for Good and Evil, and it is The Last Ever After, and can you tell me why? Why are these so big? Like, they have no business being this big. They're, like, what, middle grade? Really, really young adult? No. Not no middle grader, but most middle graders I don't think will read this many pages. Like, what the heck? Anyway, that's on there. The Book of Life, which is the third book in the Souls Trilogy, and I am so excited for my reread of this. I have recently reread the first two, and oh my god, I love these books. I feel like I'm... like, the second one, I enjoyed more the first time around. The first one, I enjoyed a little less the first time around, so I'm so excited to see what will happen with this one. Also, some of the characters and relationships in here, I'm so excited. And then I'm going to be tackling 2 Rick Riordan series. I'm going to finish up, and I'm going to say that I'm doing it because I'm doing it. I'm going to finish up the Kane Chronicles with the Serpent's Shadow, blah, And then I want to start with the Magnus Chase books, which would be Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, the Sword of Summer. So that is my TBR. I also really, really want to try to read Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. I did not put this on my 25 and 2025 because I know myself. And I only own the first two books and I haven't gotten around to getting the third one yet. I also sort of want to try this before actually getting the third one. I'm one of those people who likes to buy the whole series without even trying it and then sometimes being disappointed. It's a stupid habit. I really should just buy them at like one after another, but it is what it is, and I really want to try to read this as well. Despite it not technically being on my 25 and 2025, but I really want to read it. So this is a hopeful. I mean, all of these are hopefuls, don't get me wrong. The likelihood of me actually being able to read these, slim. But I'm gonna try, you know? The question is, which book should I start with? I don't know. Do I want to start with one that is like a quickly done deal? Like I could read Powerful and just be done with it, get it off my TBR, be real quick about it. Or I could start with one that I have really low hopes for and read the third School for Good and Evil and get it out of the way. Because this is probably the one that I'm looking forward to the least. I had such high hopes for this series because it's like fairy tales, you know, and I love them. But it's just... So, meh. Really enjoyed the first book. Second book, downhill. So we'll see what happens. Actually, yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to start with this one. Also because we match. I mean, then I would have to technically read the Book of Life, but we're going to ignore that because I'm really looking forward to that. So we're going to, well, I am going to start with this and see where it goes. I would hate to hate this because I just bought the last book in the series, because that was the last one that was missing for me. And it would be highly unfortunate if I ended up not liking this, like DNFing this, when I just bought the last book in the series. And that's what I mean with I tend to buy the whole series before reading the books. Don't be like me. You will be wasting your money. So yeah, I am so excited. Honestly. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, guys. I don't know what to do. Also, I saw this in my last video, but my camera got confused with the faces and kept trying to focus on them instead of me, so I'll try to not let that happen again. But anyway, I started this. So proud of myself, honestly. Like, literally finished the first clip and got right on it. And I have a million super cute bookmarks. This is what I'm using. What is wrong with me? But anyway, I have made it to chapter 14, which is page 194 in this book, and that's 30%. This, it's not even 30%. This has no business of being this long, okay? Can we all agree on that? Just no. And I don't know what to freaking do. I posted a poll on Instagram that nobody has answered. I put something up on Fable because I was like, I need someone to tell me whether it is worth it to read this. Because currently I don't care. Don't care about the characters, don't care about the story. But there's like 3 more books after this, and one person has kindly answered me on Fable and said that apparently, according to friends of this person, it starts really slow, but like it gets really good if you push through. So right now, I'm thinking I might try to push through and see what happens. Okay, so first of all, I love that I have filmed like 3 or 4 clips today, and every single time I have had a different hairstyle. That's what happens. And I have come to a decision. I stopped reading at page 286, which is where chapter 19 begins. I am about 45-ish% through this book. And I stopped because I was going for my walk, and that was actually really great because I kept thinking, I'm gonna give it up till I'm at like 50% through, and if by the time I am through 50% of the book, I haven't found a single thing that I enjoy about this book, I will DNF it. And then I got to thinking, it's like, why would I waste like 30 minutes of perfectly good reading time trying to get to like 50% of this book when I am not enjoying it at all? It makes no sense. The only reason I haven't DNF'd this is because I feel bad about having spent money on the whole series. Great. So what? I wasted money. I'm learning from my mistakes. I am soft DNFing it for now because honestly at this point, I will be able to pick up where I left off without having to reread the first half of it, which is great because I do still remember enough from the first 2 books as well, and I haven't read those in a while, and it's just, it's fine. If I do want to continue with it, I can. I just do not care. I find the characters, frankly, obnoxious. Like, yeah, I love that we have gotten some new characters, and I say that, no. We got some new characters, which was interesting, and it still didn't make me care enough, like, at all. Like, it is also, like, relatively obvious how this is gonna end, and then it's like, I feel like I saw a comment on Goodreads, and I feel that so much. One person reviewed this book, I think, with 1 or 2 stars, and said that they are just going to continue pretending like the first book of the series is a standalone. And I agree. You can keep that book as a standalone. Like, yes, you will not know everything that happens after, but I also don't know if it's worth knowing. And while I appreciate the person that actually answered me on Fable and saying, like, you just gotta push through, apparently, I don't know how far you want me to push through. You know, it's just, yeah, I can't be bothered. Honestly, it comes down to the fact that I just cannot be bothered. So, soft DNFing this, which means that... Ooh, look, I found a bookmark. It's actually a bookmark. Which means that I can DNF these as well, at least for now. But being able to get rid of 4 books from my physical TBR by DNFing one also gives me a certain satisfaction. So I'm gonna roll with it. So I have started The Serpent's Shadow by Rick Riordan because I thought that I should get the books out of the way that I know I'm not going to love. Did that with A School for Good and Evil, doing it with The Serpent's Shadow right now. Not DNFing this, I'm just not in love with this book. But I am reading it. I'm actually, I would say, like a third through the book already, which is great. And I don't have many thoughts. It's also the third in a series, so it's not like I could really say any thoughts that I have. So I'm just gonna continue reading this. I can take the dust jacket off now. So let's continue. So, I am so proud of myself. I'm going 2 for 2 right now because I finished The Serpent's Shadow last night and gave it 3.25 stars. Honestly, if this had been longer and not the last in the series, I probably would have given up on this series just because I'm just not really loving it as much as I thought I would. And honestly, the 0.25 stars are mainly because they mentioned like other gods again, and I'm like, yes, we know those. But anyway, I honestly don't have much to say about this book. I read it, I finished it. I am trying to read all of the like mythology-based Rick Riordan books. So next up will be Magnus Chase, and I'm so excited to get to the Trials of Apollo. So yeah, I'm so sad I did not love this trilogy, but it is what it is. My goodness. But yesterday, at some point during the day, I also started the Book of Life because this is one of those books that is going to take me several days to finish because it's huge. It doesn't necessarily look it, but like there are no margins in this book. The audiobook is like 24 hours long, so do with that what you will. Yeah, I don't think I will be finishing this today. Let's be completely honest, that is not something that will be happening. But instead, what I was thinking is to try to finish a book today. I'm gonna read Powerful later on today, because it's such a short book. I can like read it so easily. Just sit down for like an hour and a half or something and read it. So that is going to be exciting. And then I'm gonna continue reading this. And then I've actually already done so much in terms of my TBR for this video, because the first book, DNF. The second book, done.
third book will be done, fourth book will have like been started and like probably gotten a good chunk through. And then it's like if you're really talking just base TBR, it would be the first Magnus Chase and Ascendance of a Bookworm left. And I did not think I would be able to do it. So I'm gonna see if I can continue with this intense motivation to read right now and see where it goes. I'm just really excited it's working out, honestly. I mean, yes, technically I DNF'd one, but that also got like 5 books off of my physical TBR, so I'm not complaining. Okay. I just finished Powerful. This is what I thought I'd feel at the end of Powerless, and I didn't, and I was like, oh, that is a bad sign. Oh no. I am honestly so glad that I did not do the tandem read the first time around, because it would have spoiled the ending of A Powerless for me, because by chapter, I don't know, 19 or something in this book, I would have known what happens at the end of Powerless. So, as a reread, I think reading them in tandem can make the story feel more complete. But as a first read, I definitely understand reading this just second. I also see why this was like a nice sort of time, you know, having to wait for Reckless. Getting this in between, I feel like that would have been really nice. I'm obviously reading them once the last in the trilogy has already come out, so now it's just waiting to see when I get to pick up Reckless, and then Fearless is the last one. I did enjoy this quite a lot. I don't know what I'll be rating it yet, but this was quick, this was cute. I love Adina and Mac so much, and we will see what happens. I have thoughts, ideas. We will see. I really want to know what happens in Reckless now, though. Like, I didn't feel that way after Powerless. I was like, yeah, okay. But now, with Mac and everything, I hope we'll see him in Reckless. We'll see, we'll see. But I did it. Yeah. I'm gonna continue with this now, probably. And I'll see what happens. Where's my bookmark? There we go. weirdest thing happen. Wow, my glasses are really reflecting my window. Anyway, I was reading and I was feeling so weird because my eye, like, I stopped being able to see properly. It like felt like I was looking through a million little prisms or something. It's like, I don't know. It was so weird. For a second, I thought I would maybe pass out or something. Or like maybe it was like an aura and I would be getting a migraine or something. I don't know what happened and I am so confused. It is better now, thank God. But like I could barely read. I was so confused. I was literally I finished the Book of Life and then I was just like, okay, actually I need to close my eyes and see what happens. I don't know what triggered it or what it actually was, but I did finish the Book of Life, so that's good. It's the third in what used to be the All Souls Trilogy. It's no longer a trilogy, but this wraps up, I guess, the first part of Matthew and Diana's story. And I am so excited to actually be able to now continue with Times Convert once I have the energy and, you know, mood to pick that up. And I love these books. They are such... I just love popping in the audiobook of these and just like enjoying them as I do stuff, which honestly I did today while working. So, which is why I managed to finish it so fast. Just, I had relatively brain dead work to do, and so I could just listen to it. But I think I enjoyed this one a bit more the first time around, because this is a book that hits a lot harder if you don't know what will happen. I've also seen the show so many times at this point. There are no surprises in here. So yeah, I still enjoyed my time though. I love Diana, I love Matthew, I love Gallo Glass and Marcus and Isabel and Mart and Sarah and just all of them. I love them so much, and I cannot wait to see where their stories go, because we will know now, or at least I think we will, and that is very, very exciting. So yeah, I can take off another one of the books that I wanted to read in this video, which we're making such great progress. I am honestly kind of surprised. Gonna be honest. And because the eye thing is coming back apparently. Never mind. Okay. What I'm gonna do now, because I literally can't do anything, I will have to lie down again and make sure that I'm okay. But while doing that, I'm gonna start Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, the Sword of Summer. And I'm just gonna pop in the audiobook of it and read along if I can. And I am... Why is this so long? This is 500 pages. Why did I decide to read so many, like, bigger books? I'm so happy that I chose Powerful as one of the books to read, because that was, like, so quick. Big. Big. School for Good and Evil was big. I mean, Ascendance of a Bookworm isn't big per se. It's just gonna take me a long time to get through. But I know more about Norse mythology than I know about Egyptian mythology, so I'm excited to see what I think about this one. Honestly, compared to the Kane Chronicles rather than the Percy Jackson series, because Percy Jackson and the Olympians and Heroes of Olympus, and I hope Trials of Apollo once I've read that, are just going to be my favorite. Greek Roman mythology, love it. Always been fascinated with it. But I'm really excited to finally get into this. And yeah. So, as it turns out, it was Aura. And I did get a migraine, but I took my meds. So I didn't really get a migraine. I love that we have meds for it, honestly. But that also means that I actually haven't been able to pick this up properly until a couple of minutes ago. I have no sense of time. It may have been like 30 minutes already. But I have read the first 9-ish chapters, which is the first 60-ish pages. And I honestly find the idea of having your main character basically die in the first 50 pages so refreshing and very Norse. Like, literally, the moment he got to HV, I was like, oh, I know what this is. I know where this is. And then he just basically realized it himself, and I love that. I'm so intrigued as to where this is gonna go. I don't know the Norse gods and Norse mythology quite as well as I know the Greek and Roman mythologies. So I'm not sure who all of the people are we've met so far, but I am definitely more intrigued right now. Might have something to do with the fact that we saw Annabeth within the first like 20 or 30 pages, and I was like, my girl, I love you. And yeah, I'm actually now really excited to see where this goes. And if we maybe see Annabeth a couple more times, and maybe also some other characters. Well, I finished. Also love how it's like embossed. This definitely falls between Percy Jackson and Kane. I'm just not sure what I think about it yet. It definitely has more of some of the things that I really, really loved about Percy Jackson. So, definitely good. Also, I mean, one of the things I loved about Percy Jackson was literally Annabeth Chase. So the fact that we see her is already a big plus. I need Magnus and Percy to meet, though. Like, because at the end, the name of the last chapter I actually find really funny. What's up with my hair? And I now want Percy to also compare notes. Or maybe at the end of the trilogy so that Magnus can just like get through some more stuff. You know, it's really unfair to compare notes with Percy. But yeah, so overall, I think this is a good start to the trilogy. Yeah, but I think nothing is ever going to top the stories with the Greek and Roman gods. I don't know. I don't have thoughts. Why do I not have thoughts? This is so weird. Maybe I'll have thoughts later. But I now need to figure out what to pick up next because technically the only book that is still left on my list for this video, because I've decided it would be stupid of me to start reading Realmbreaker right now. Realmbreaker? Yeah, Blade Breaker is the second. Because I am reading so many other books at the moment as well, and I need the time and energy for that. And so I would swap it out for just continuing with Daughter of the Moon Goddess because I read the first chapter or something, and then I haven't picked it up since. Because of everything else that I'm reading. But for this video, the last book would be Ascendance of a Bookworm. It's gonna take a hot minute though to read because I'm so slow in reading these. Oh, look at this. So we've got this side, and then we've got this side. I love it so much. This is also going to be somewhat interesting to see if I still remember what is happening, given that I haven't seen the anime in a while, and I also don't remember when I actually read this, like, when I've read Part 2, Volume 1. Hopefully I'll know what's happening. So, I can't believe it, but I finished Ascendance of a Bookworm Part 2, Volume 2, and I am so happy that I finally picked this up because, like, two of my favorite anime scenes were in this, and it made me so happy, and it reminded me why I love this anime so much and why I wanted to read the light novel of it. I also have the manga saved on Everand, so it's gonna take a while. But when I have finished with the light novel, that light novel series is so freaking long. Also, where's the next season? What? But anyway, after I have finished with the light novels, I think I might want to pick up the manga because I absolutely adore the few like little drawings we have in this, just illustrating one of the scenes, and they always make me so happy seeing them because a lot of this I have already seen in the anime. And yeah, but it is so much fun to just go deeper into the story with the light novel. So I am so happy that I have finally read this, and honestly, this has been such a, like, I know that I enjoy these because I enjoy the story. I know that I like the characters and everything. But I, like, for some reason, my brain doesn't want to let me pick them up to read. No reason. Like, or at least I don't know the reason. But I have done it. I am so happy. And given that I've decided to not have Realmbreaker on my TBR for this video because it's not part of the 25 and 2025, I just finished my TBR for this video, which I'm honestly so surprised by. Guys, I did it. I don't know how, but I finished my TBR for this video and more. Like, now that I've had some time to think on it, DNFing this was probably the best decision I could have ever made. It's just, the School for Good and Evil does not seem to be for me, and that's okay. Do I regret, like, buying the whole series before finishing, like, the books, like, after another? Sure, because I now wasted some money on it. But it's also, like, not like I care that much. It's it's annoying. But I tried. Like, I basically could get all of these off of my physical TBR by DNFing a book I wasn't enjoying. And I wasn't enjoying this, so the likelihood that I would have enjoyed any of the others, slim to none. So, you know, it is what it is. I am really sad about it because I thought I would really enjoy these books, but I just didn't. And that's okay. Then I finished The Serpent's Shadow by Rick Riordan, which is the last book in the Kane Chronicles series, and didn't love this either. Gave it 3 stars. It was okay. It was the end to a story. It ended pretty much how I thought it would. I don't really know what to say about this. Just, it was okay. Kind of disappointing, but honestly, I just think that nothing will ever be able to top Percy Jackson. At least not from Rick. So, it is what it is. I also did my reread of The Book of Life by Deborah Harkness, which is the 3rd in the Souls Trilogy, and I gave this 4 stars, I believe, and it was good. It was enjoyable. It wasn't quite the same as reading it for the first time. I feel like reading it for the first time was a lot more exciting because I didn't know how it would end, and I didn't know a lot of the smaller things, like, will they do this, won't they do this, like, what's happening, sort of thing, right? So overall, really enjoyable book. I love these characters, I love the story, I love the different love stories, and I'm so excited to see how all of these interwoven stories will continue in Times Convert, and then I think the Blackbird Oracle and whatever books will be coming out after this. So I'm just really excited I finally did my reread of this, and I can now confidently continue the series. I read Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer, which is starting the Magnus Chase books for me, and I did enjoy this. I gave it 3.5 stars. It's just, honestly, the same complaint. It's got, Percy Jackson is just not there. Honestly, I feel like the 0.5 stars were added because we did see Annabeth Chase. And if I had to choose any character to see in a different book besides Percy, it would have to be Annabeth. So I am so happy to have finally started this, and I'm actually excited to continue. I find I can relate a bit more to Norse mythology than to Egyptian mythology, so relate to is the wrong word. I know more about it, so it's a bit easier to understand, if that makes sense. I also just always, I like the thought of one of the parents pulling a god, you know, it's just that's so much more fun than just being magicians descended from the pharaohs or something. I don't know, it's just this more fun to me. Also, the fact that 2 out of the 3, like, Chase siblings
Annabeth's and Magnus's like father and mother, both were able to pull a god, but from different pantheons. Like, that's dope. Also, Valkyries, I just love it. It's so fun. And I continued my first read of the Powerless Trilogy by continuing with Powerful, which is a powerless story, like a novella that is set around the same time as Powerless, but it focuses on Edina and Mac and sort of their story, and I really needed this. This ended up giving me the feels that I was missing from the ending of Powerless, which I was so surprised by. Like, usually I would have said, like, that would have hit so hard, but for some reason it didn't. After reading this, it did. So this definitely helped a lot. I ended up giving that actually a good question, 4.25 stars. So I'm really intrigued to see what happens in Reckless now. I'm gonna see when I will continue with that. And then it's just Fearless left. And yeah, this was quick to read too, so I appreciated that. And then the unofficial winner of this video is gotta be Ascendance of a Bookworm Part 2 Volume 2, because reading this, I remembered why I love this story so much. And these characters, especially mine. She is such a book girly, and I love that. And just like, we are learning more about the world and the characters, especially the High Priest, Ferdinand. I love you. This volume had like basically two of my absolute favorite anime moments in it, because I've seen the anime, and that made me want to read the light novel, because the light novel just goes a bit more in depth, and it was so much fun to read. I usually have a much harder time reading these, but it's mostly, I think, because when I read these, I read them alongside a different book, and I pick this up in between. But I think I really need to focus on these when I do read them. So I have like 3 left that I own, and then it's buying time, honestly. I think I actually do want to have copies of all of them. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this was so cute and I loved it so much. It's just, I really want to rewatch the anime now, but I know that if I do, it's going to be so difficult for me to continue with reading the light novel, because then everything will be fresh in my mind again. So, in the sense of what happens after this. So, yeah, but this basically means that I got 8 books off of my physical TBR, and I did a reread of 1, just bringing me closer and closer to actually finishing my, what's it called? 25 in 2025. Like, look at this. Oh my god, it's gonna fall. But like, that's a stack. Goodness, I love that so much. Like, I can lean on it and be like, which is kind of creepy, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, my physical TBR is now down to 223. So if everything works out the way I want it to, I feel like I might be able to get that to 200 before June is over. I know that that is quite a task, because that's 23 books plus the like 3 or 4 that I'm currently reading, which don't really count as physical TBR anymore, in like 5 weeks. Can I do it? You'll have to come back and see. On that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe subscribing. I am going to try to tackle the rest of this TBR, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!